He's got -2 and it costs 2 to beat into the wind. So he's now adrift, which is what the French wanted to do. Okay, so we're quite happy with that. He now cannot close any further. Okay, he might be able to move downwind here, and maybe if these guys come down, but maybe they'll avoid it. We'll have to see. So the final French ship, we've got the Villeneuve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to close right up, but he's going to save his initial broadside. Okay, you know, he could only fire at the next ship here, which is no good. So that's the French squadron there done. Okay, just like to mark them. Okay, so we're back to the British. Well, again, you know, there's not a lot of option here, but I've got the same concern that the same thing's going to happen to the Victory, that it's going to get its sails shredded. But it's not a lot you can do. Got to close. You know, at least if they're adrift, they can still fire. So Nelson will activate, and we'll go forward 1, 2. Okay. When it goes to 2, I think definitely the Pluton will fire at it. Again, trying to get the same process we did before. Nelson return fire, anyone else return fire? Nelson's only going to get a partial broadside there, so I think we'll save the gunpowder. We're not going to shoot the rigging, so we're not going to lose any of our fire capacity this turn. No, that's fine. Now the Pluton has fired its starboard already, so we have got a range of 1, 2, 3, 4. Well gun third rate ship, range of 4, gives us a 6, plus our audacity gives us a 7. Slide this little fellow across to the 7, roll the dice, see what we got. Okay, 8, so we know we're sort of firing at the rigging but into the wind, so that cancels out. It's a straight 8. Okay, I wonder if I calculated one's wrong. Anyway, the problem we're doing it on video, trying to think of too many, trying to talk and play at the same time, not much strong point. So I might have put a modifier on the others I didn't really need, but let's see. 8, we have 3 rigging hits. So 3 rigging hits on the Victory. It's going to put it up to 5, so it's beginning to slow it. It's only going to have 1 beaten into the wind, but I don't think there's a lot else that's going to shoot at it this turn. Okay, so the rest of the division squadron will move up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, maintaining formation. Okay, so that's the Brits activated. Just mark those as activated. Okay, I'm not making anyone too seasick. I think that's going to be the main action of this turn. I'm not sure the others are going to get much done. So let's go over to the French and we'll activate these 3 ships here. Yeah, it's quite hard. This is why I have trouble. It's quite hard. We've got the wind coming from this direction. I really want to get these 2 ships across in a line here, but not too close that the British steer into them. So I think we might do some side slips. Okay, so let's activate this guy here. We know we're beaten, we've got 5, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This guy will go straight down 5, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, these mask each other's broadside, so I will mark them for now. Probably not really real need to, but he won't be able to fire his broadside from there, and he won't be able to fire his broadside from that side either. Okay, so they're sort of counted as going. I'm just doing that for completeness, and we'll bring on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the flagship as well. Okay, so we've got that little squadron trying to move around there. Back to the British, don't have anything to activate. We've got all these out of command ships. Now, out of command, you can roll to get command, but it's only for firing and moving adjacent. So these guys are fine, just manoeuvring. So they are currently reaching into the wind. So we will, first one, so we've got 5, we will go to a running position, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. It's him done. This guy will do the same. So he's got, we know we've got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this is a bit where my lack of sail experience comes into play, because we're going to have a problem with the command there shortly. I mean, by default, I could all get them moving into a reaching position, and that will work. But I've got the commander all the way out here at the moment, so his range of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still do not reach this. I mean, he's going to be in command next turn, but we've got 4 of them out of command. Because these guys are only moving at 2, it's not going to be a problem yet. But I do need to try and up my game and getting those guys organised. Back over to the Spanish. Okay, I think we were just for how fast to move. I think we will just carry on reaching, and this time I think they use all their 5. No back sailing going on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. Okay. So there we go at the end of the movement. Okay, so the British got a little bit closer. We've got a guy adrift. We're going to look at him in a moment. That's all the action done. So next thing we have, we go into the ship status check. Ship fires. We've got no fires going at the moment. We have drifting. Okay, so that's when this guy here, Cochrane, is going to drift. Okay, we might get him to jump ship next turn with the commander transfer oars, because he's just gonna, yeah, I think I'm gonna need to do that. Okay, after that we have striking. There's no one who requires to strike. Although this guy's adrift, he's not demasted, so there's no chance anyway. He's closer to his own unit, so he's fine. There's no sinking. Okay, and then what we do now, the final part of the turn, is just remove the broadside and the activation counters, which I would do off camera. Okay, so that was turn 3, moving into turn 4. Okay, now hopefully I haven't made too many glaring rule errors there, although I might have got my modifiers a bit messed up. That's trying to talk and play at the same time. So it's definitely going to be closing here. The problem, yeah, it's quite interesting, this one, because the Allies have the wind advantage. I think they can have a pretty good go at these front ships without the British having a chance to engage these ships at the moment. And because the British have the higher audacity, it might be at that point we sail off. You know, we do some damage here and we sail off. Obviously we need to do some damage first, and these are big ships, you know. The maybe not the Northumberlands, but if you look at the Victory there, you know, it's 16 hull hits. You know, that's a big old vessel, and these 2 ships are definitely the 2 strongest ships in the British line. But you know, these 74 gunners are very good ships as well, and there's not really any weaknesses in the French. I mean, definitely these third rates with the heavier guns are very good. I know their first raters have the black circle, but even so, they're still pretty good guns. The Spanish, well, not so good. 4th rates, you know, there's a few good ones. Raphael's a good ship, and so is the what's it called then? What's that ship called? Their flagship, the Argonauta's a pretty good ship as well. But if they could bring those guns to bear. The problem I have is new to the system is I'm trying to maintain my formations. I know at some point they'll all fall apart when we have a general melee, because my other games have gone a bit like that at the moment. But I'm very reluctant to sort of cut in these other lines and get it very, very messy very quickly. You know, if I had free option, I would probably have the commanders sort of in the middle of the line so they can command more, but that's not how historically it happened. although, you know, we might have the option for that as ships set on fire and lose masts and become awash and all sorts. Anyway, so there's the my second attempt at this scenario, and I will post a few more videos. Maybe not another turn by turn one, unless someone in the comments points out some egregious errors I've made. But I will keep you abreast of developments.